My first question is, why is that today true love, true feelings are not valued or supported? In fact, the more loving you try to be with people, they mock at you and they don't value you at all. What should we do in that case? How do we balance? Should one be good, very good, or we should come down to their level?
But I think we become very individualistic in our attitudes, individualistic and materialistic. So that calculation has taken us away from the real purpose of life. But love has a lot of power. No matter how materialistic the other person is, if you reciprocate with love, like they say, love can move mountains. You see, so we are only seeing what they are doing. We are forgetting what we have to do. So if you create that harmony in the house, and there's always love in whatever you do, you will reach that stage where the other person will start reciprocating.
But sometimes it's really difficult because we are human beings and we get tired to give so much to the other person, and then
You
we
tell me
don't.
what is easy in life?
Nothing.
Is getting a degree easy?
No.
Is pleasing your parents easy? Is looking after children easy? Is earning money easy? Everything needs time and attention. So why not for your relationships?
And also, my second question is, what's your message to the youngsters today who seem to be totally lost, confused, and stressed out? How to balance oneself in today's tough, competitive environment that you see all around? There is so much cruelty, atrocity. So, what would you be like? What would you suggest us like?
Because of the media today, we are more aware of that. It was always there. Famine, disease, killing, wars. It has been there always. So it's not that problems haven't been there. The question is, how do you solve your problems? Today's generation is in a hurry. You need to space yourself out. And if you can space yourself out, there is always something to look forward to, and there's always something to achieve. But if I get everything just now, then you turn towards drugs, liquor, and all that. So if you learn to space yourself out, life will be more positive and more productive.
Okay, thank you. I love you.
What I want to say is that from quite some time, I'm going through a stage where nothing gives me joy, no food, no clothes, nothing. And I have this immense sadness within me, and I have no reason to be sad. So I really don't know what I'm going through.
Sister, these are attitudes we create. Mind is very impressionable. So all the impressions which the mind has collected, it puts you in different perspectives. So these are phases in life we go through. Sometimes everything is very enjoyable and sometimes you don't like anything in life. So these are phases. What we need to do is we need to be objective enough in our life, keep that objective in front of you and work towards that. Everything else doesn't matter. Food we eat to sustain the body. But today we've the senses have taken over and we look towards the taste. So everything, there should be a purpose. There should be some objectivity to what you do. Life should take you to a logical conclusion. But we've given in into the senses. And the senses, they, when they sort of predominate, they take us towards these different desires. So be objective and work towards that.
हाँ राधा स्वामी बाबा जी हाँ बाबा जी मैं पहली बारी आया ਇੱਥੇ तो मेरा क्वेश्चन बाबा जी ये है कि मैं मॉर्निंग टाइम 'ਚ ਡੇਲੀ ਜਪਜੀ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦਾ ਪਾਠ ਕਰਦਾ ਹਾਂ। ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਪੂਰੀ ਲਗਨ ਨਾਲ ਕਰਦਾ ਹਾਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਮਨੋਂ, ਪਰ ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਪਾਠ ਕਰਨ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹਾਂ, ਪਰ ਮੇਰੇ ਦਿਮਾਗ 'ਚ ਮੈਂ ਪਾਠ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ, ਪਰ ਹੋਰ ਹੀ ਸਵਾਲ ਜਵਾਬ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਰਹਿਣਗੇ ਜਾਂ ਹੋਰ ਹੀ ਕੋਈ ਖਿਆਲ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਰਹਿਣਗੇ, ਵੀ ਪੂਰਾ ਫੋਕਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗ ਪਾਉਂਦਾ ਹੈਗਾ। ਇਹਦਾ ਕੀ ਕਾਰਨ ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਆਪਾਂ ਪੂਰਾ ਧਿਆਨ ਲਾ ਕੇ ਹੋਰ ਲਗਨ ਨਾਲ ਕਰੀਏ?
बेटा जपजी साहब का निचोड़ की है? आपने क्या आद सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसी भी सच, ਤਾਂ ਉਹਦਾ ਨਿਚੋੜ ਹੈਗਾ ਜਪ ਵਿੱਚ। ਹੁਣ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਜਿੰਨਾ ਚਿਰ ਸੋਚ ਸਮਝ ਕੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ, ਜੇ ਮੈਂ ਕਾਰਵਾਈ ਪਾਣੀ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਕਾਰਵਾਈ ਨਾਲ ਤਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕੁਝ ਮਿਲਣ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਬੇਟਾ। ਸੋ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਪੜ੍ਹਦੇ ਹੈ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਸਮਝਣ ਦੀ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰੋ ਕਿ ਉਹਦਾ ਲਕਸ਼ ਕੀ ਹੈ। ਆਪਾਂ ਜੇ ਸਿਰਫ ਜਪਜੀ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੂੰ ਸਮਝ ਲਈਏ ਨਾ, ਸਾਰੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਬਾਣੀ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਇੱਕ ਐਕਸਪੈਂਸ਼ਨ ਹੈ ਜਪਜੀ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੀ। ਜੇ ਜਪਜੀ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਸਮਝ ਲਓ ਨਾ, ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਪਤਾ ਚੱਲ ਜੂਗਾ ਕਿ ਕੀ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ ਔਰ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਢਾਲਣੀ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਪੜ੍ਹਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਸਮਝ ਕੇ ਅਮਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਲਿਆਵਾਂਗੇ ਤਾਂ ਸਾਡਾ ਬੇੜਾ ਪਾਰ ਹੋਊਗਾ।
ਜੀ ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਬਾਬਾ ਜੀ।
राधा स्वामी बाबा जी, रियली थैंकफुल। बाबा जी संत मत नहीं समझ आता, मुझे सिर्फ ये पता है मेरे सामने मेरा पिता बैठा है एंड आई एम फॉलोइंग दैट।
But there's nothing to understand. Basically what happens is that we come from different backgrounds and we've been brought up with certain perspectives. So to help you to relate to that, all these books are written so that there's no contradiction in your mind that I'm going against my faith. But at the ending of the day, it's a very simple thing. There is only one Lord, and the only way to meet him is through love. Now, how difficult can that be? Now, we complicate our lives with all this. I will read so many books and it just complicates me further rather than making it simple. Now, if I know that there is one Lord and I just need to be grateful to him and take out some time during my entire day to show my gratitude because he's given me everything. In life, aren't we grateful to our parents? So similarly, we need to be grateful to him. That's all you need to do.
That's why I still love my father and I want to love more, more and more.
Yeah, so let's not restrict that love, let's expand on that love. And if you expand on that love, you will automatically love the Lord through his creation.
Radha Swami Babaji, I would like to ask you, how can I stop my mind from analyzing everything and from wanting to have everything under control?
Sister, analyzing is not bad. It's only when you go to extremes that it becomes bad, you know. So everything that you do, a certain thought process should go into that action. Because if you're going to take an action without thinking again, we are going to mess it up. So a certain amount of thinking is necessary. But if I just keep on thinking and I don't take the action, then also I won't get the result. So that is why it is very essential to keep a balance in life, not to go to extremes. The moment you go to extremes, then reactions start taking place. But if I keep a balance and I just give it a thought, is it beneficial for me? What is my objective? The chance of my taking a wrong step will decrease. Life is a learning process. The truth we will only be able to experience when we take the step forward. Thinking only helps you to decide what to do. But unless you don't take the step, it's not going to happen. So to some extent, yes, we should analyze, but not overdo it.
Radha Swami Babaji, my question is regarding my father who passed away 2 years ago, and he was your disciple, and I just wanted to know if he reached his true home.
Beta, you are right in one manner that, we are very anxious and thoughtful about the people we love. But our relationship with anybody is just for a few years. The Lord's relationship with every soul is since the creation was created. Now these few years has made us so anxious. Don't you think He's anxious about all of us?
Yes.
And beta, because you are still in the physical and that's why you are putting it into calculation. Once the soul has left the body, He's not aware of the relationships. So that soul, if you ask him about his children or his wife, he has absolutely no idea. But since we are still limited to the physical and we are looking at it from a physical perspective, that's why we become anxious about all that. And at the ending of the day, beta, everything is governed by the law of karma. Okay?
Yeah.
So wherever anybody goes, it will be dependent upon his karmas. The idea is not to take you from one illusion to another illusion, beta. The idea of the master is to help you to face the reality. You see, so it's very easy for me to say that don't worry, everything will be okay. Will it?
Yes. So I can be rest assured he's safe wherever he is.
No, everybody is safe. I mean, aren't we sort of concerned about our children? Aren't we protective about our children?
Yeah.
His relationship goes much further. So you don't think that he'll be protective of his souls. You see, you can love a child, you can protect him, you teach him, you give him all the guidance. But if the child insists in putting his hand into the fire, what will happen?
It's bad.
Radha Soami Babaji, you're such an idol, spiritually, personally, and professionally also.
Beta, the irony is that most of us, when we come into the spiritual path, we are making the master into an idol, where we venerate him, we say everything nice, but we don't follow the teachings. When the physical master comes into the creation, his purpose is not to be venerated. His purpose is to teach us. He is the master not because of the body. He is the master because of the teachings. But somewhere I think the teachings get left behind and the body becomes more important. And that's what we need to correct. The important part and our focus always should be on the teachings rather than the physical. Physical will change, physical will come and go. Teachings are permanent.
My question relates to a topic that often comes up for discussion or even debate amongst our family and friends, which is life a simulation? In other words, is reality for real? And while we all understand that our life has a higher purpose than just our physical self, it often becomes very challenging to explain and evangelize this concept, especially with younger children. So, what would be your guidance and advice on how best to address this, especially, like I said, with our younger children?
When the telephone first came in, and I'm not talking about the cell phone, I'm talking about the one where you used to dial. And if you told, and somebody who was not aware of it, if you told him that, you can talk to somebody in some other town, and he would say, no, it's not possible. But once you dialed that person and you made him talk to him, that's why we say seeing is believing. So for us, today the reality is what we are seeing. So we are caught in the confines of our mind and our thinking, and we've created certain concepts. But the world is not limited to those concepts. So actually, life has been given to you to put it into practice and become aware of what is illusion and what is the truth. But that will only come by experience, not just through concepts and not just by arguments or thinking. I put something sweet in front of you. I say, this is the sweetest thing in the world. Out of respect for me, you'll shake your head. But does that doubt go away from your mind? Somewhere there's always a lurking doubt, is this the sweetest thing or not? But if you pick it up and taste it, then you can say for a sure fact whether it is the sweetest thing or not. So how did we arrive at the conclusion? When the action was taken. So that is why this life has been given to us, for that action, where we can discern, where we can realize the truth, just not think or talk about it.
Radha Soami Babaji, thank you.
My question is, how can I find a happiness in meditation? I've been meditating for a year and it's still just a duty for me, something I have to do. What can help me change that?
You know, sister, I don't know about now, but in good old days, as we grew up and we wanted to learn driving, you know what is the first thing my father used to make me do? Go and check the water, check the oil, change the tires and all that. And I used to say, what does that have to do with driving? And he says, these are the fundamentals. If you don't know this, you'll never be able to handle it properly. So at the moment, we are just performing these basic functions. Your happiness is in your hands. Nobody can take it away from you. Nobody can give you happiness. Okay? You just have to come to terms with life. So through our meditative process, we are just tuning into ourselves. That's why we say self-realization before God-realization. You become comfortable with yourself. You are able to accept everything. The next step to God-realization will happen on its own. There's nothing you need to do. You see, so we fight. We fight with our destiny, we fight with circumstances, and that's the turmoil we are creating. So it's not that he's taken your happiness away, we've pushed it away with the turmoil that the mind creates. So if you are able to control the mind, I mean, all our life, would we want to run every time somebody rings the bell, or would we want to ring the bell ourselves? We want to be in control, don't we? But here we are following the dictates of the mind. I mean, we basically become servants of the mind. So get that mind into your control.
Thank you.
You will be in charge.
Thank you, Radha Swami.
My mom says that you are closer to me than my skin. So it's a little strange to talk to you from here.
It's a question of understanding, sister. I mean, if we read the Bani, in the Bani, Guru Sahib says, Atam me Ram, Ram me Atam, Chinus Gur Vichara. In the soul is the Lord, and the Lord is in the soul, but very few people have realized it. You see, so he's nearer to us than we can imagine. But because our attention is spread into the creation and we are looking at it from a very physical point of view, that's why we are not able to realize it. He's nearer to you even than your skin.
Radha Soami Babaji. Babaji, my question is about mind. Like, we have so many responsibilities, when we try to sit for meditation, there's like a constant chatter going on of the mind all the time. It's like that time only you get, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that. You plan your schedule that time, everything happens. I don't know why that time only. And when finally you try to concentrate and sit for meditation, you kind of, it just your mind is like so very relaxed that you fall asleep. So then how to concentrate, I don't know how to do it.
No, sister, we are all creatures of habit. Now, we've created this habit of not being still, constantly thinking, and nowadays you have this something called multitasking. Yeah,
Multitasking.
for the likes of me, I can't understand. Okay, how can you do two things at the same time? But today's younger children, they have their headphones on, they have the computer open in front of them, and they've probably got the TV on also.
Yes.
So they end up by doing nothing. They just confuse they confuse themselves. Okay. So whatever is worth doing well. So we have to create a new habit where the mind is focusing on one aspect and becoming good at that. That is what the meditation is for. Okay. So when you want to sort of focus on something, pay really good attention. Suppose the child has to study. If there's loud music playing, he will get distracted. His eyes are constantly wandering, he will get distracted. He has to constantly answer somebody's question. So these are the three faculties that have to be brought together for the focus to come. So through the Simran, the faculty of speech is occupied. So when you repeat something, what happens is your attention, which is scattered, starts converging on what you are repeating. Let's say you're repeating the name of your father. So your attention, which is spread out, is converging on that word that you are repeating. Now that word has a special association, which is your father. So as the attention comes together, his image will come in front of you. And when the image comes in front of you, which is what we call dhyan, that helps to keep it focused, to hold on. So it's like we are swimming against the current. As long as we are swimming, we are making progress. The moment you stop swimming, the current again takes you back. So you don't need to hold on to something. So dhyan is basically to hold on. And then the actual spiritual journey starts, where the sound gives you a sense of direction, and the light is symbolic of knowing. In darkness, you can't see. You falter, you fall. In light, you can see.
Yeah.
You see? So the light and the sound then helps you to make your way forward. So your actual spiritual journey starts from there. And the mind, because its constant satisfaction is needed, you see, so until it gets something better than what it is used to, it's not going to give up all these thoughts. But once it starts tasting of the divine bliss within, so once it gets associated with the sweetness of the divine melody within, then all these things will become irrelevant. So we have to approach it in a positive manner. Most of us, we come to the spiritual path, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. That's a very negative approach. Positively, see what you need to do it, and as the attention starts focusing, automatically these things will become irrelevant in your life.